Hello friends, a little bit longer video today on what I'm going to be calling Fudd Fun Time from the once fired brass that a friend gave me in a bucket of stuff. Uh, I got these 30-06. Love 30-06. Nothing wrong with it. It's a great cartridge. There are better cartridges and there's far worse cartridges. There's nothing in North America that's native to this continent that a 30-06 can't take down. So, and I have 30-06, and honestly, I'm gonna be culling some of these. Well, I've already culled a bunch, but I probably won't shoot that many 30-06 in the next year. Uh, but some of these were really good, high quality pieces of brass. So, like these nickel coated ones. So I'm gonna be loading these guys up pretty hot. I think I'm gonna make a pretty hard hitting hunt and load. With them, I haven't really decided what yet. All the way. Those aren't the nickel ones. You can see the difference in those. But I'm definitely, with the nickel ones, I'm gonna make something pretty hot out of them. Hadn't figured that out yet. Today I'm just going to be resizing and priming them and then putting them up in something air and watertight with a little desiccant in there to keep the moisture content down. But I wanted to talk a little bit about resizing and culling your brass. Earlier I did a short that I wet tumbled these with stainless steel media because they were really cruddy. And the stainless steel media, it does a wonderful job on really cruddy brass. On just regular once fired brass that hadn't set out and oxidized or got a bit real dirty, you don't even need the media in those wet tumblers. Hot soapy water, boom, it'll clean them great. I'm a big lover of the wet tumbles. But anyway, I done that short earlier where a little piece of the stainless steel media had got turned sideways inside the neck of the brass. I talked about how you got to inspect your brass, make sure there's nothing in there when you reload. Well, this one here, we're talking about culling brass. So this is all once fired stuff, and you got to check for signs of pressure, especially if you don't know the provenance of it. If you're just picking up range brass, so you don't know how many times it's been reloaded or any of that, it can get a little risky. But if you're just starting out and reloading, there's nothing wrong with trying to, save a couple of pennies and shooting range brass. Some people on the internet was, I never shoot range brass. Just use your head a little bit, especially if you're not going to make something screaming out of it. So, things I look for, aside from obvious pressure, you can look how flat the primers are before you deprime them. Something that has been shot a lot or about ready to have a head case separation. I don't have one. It'll have a little ring, a little bright ring right around here. That's no good. Get rid of those. Case necks that are cracked, big dents are not good. Crushed necks are not good. So like this neck here, you can see it's a little wonky. I would reload that, but I've got plenty of others in here. See how this neck is nice and still round and symmetrical? That's real good to load. And that's got that little flat spot. I don't know if the camera's picking it up good or not. Probably not. There it is. You might cull that depending on what you're doing, but this is definitely one that you should cull. I mean, you look at that. It's really deformed. It's got that big dent right there. My camera's not picking that dent up good, but it doesn't have any dents in the case, but right there in that neck it does. But this is one got a pretty good burr right there. You should toss this one. But just for the purpose of saying, hey, times are tough all over and you're stuck with this and this is all you got to reload, let's take a look at it. For all my other brass over here, which is all in pretty good shape, I'm just using this Hornady one shot and case lube, which I've really kind of fallen in love with if I'm not doing anything really hardcore with, if I'm not resizing something into you know, making a, like if I was taking one of these 30-06 and cutting it and resizing it to a 7.7 Arasaka or 7.7 Jap, which you can do, and it's a process. But anyway, I wouldn't be using this Hornady one shot, because if you're not really putting a lot of pressure on it, this is perfectly good. I love it, and just time wise and neatness wise, it works fine. But for this, which I'm gonna be putting a lot of pressure on because it's so freaking wongy, I won't be using some old-fashioned Imperial. There we go. Imperial sizing die wax. Super good stuff. And to use that, it's just as simple as you can get. You open it up, and a little can of it will last you a long time, because it doesn't take much. You just kind of rub your finger in there, get a little on there, and rub it around the cartridge. And for this one, I'm going to be just kind of getting a little bit on the inside too. Now, whenever you do that, if you're going to be loading it, just kind of wiped it off to where it got on the inside of that as well. And then put that away. Whenever you use this stuff, it's really sticky. So if you're really particular and you don't want to get your powder in on that, whenever you go to charge this, you're going to want to wipe that out real good. So anyway, let's take a look at this little operation. Let me lower you guys down a little bit and zoom you on in. Ooh, that's a little rough zoom. So we're going to come over here to I've got my resizing die in there, and it's a full length resizing die from, this is a RCBS. Let me zoom over here. There it is. Maybe. Yeah. All right, so there it is. It's from RCBS, good quality die in my Hornady press. Now, so got my really super wongy bullet, or cartridge case, not bullet, that I am going to now resize and prime. Now I'm going to use an already spent primer, just because I am culling this. Okay, so here we go. And a lot of this video is for some of my friends over across the pond that don't know a lot about American gun culture and reloading in general. So for y'all folks over there that y'all know who I'm talking to, thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys. And anyway, here we go. So you put it in your shell holder, and because it's so long, you really be precise. Reach up in there and feel it, feel around, and get it into your resizing die. All right, so you don't want to just ram it in there, especially because we are doing such a wongy one. You don't want to risk tearing your die up, because those are pretty expensive. So I've got it in there. It is, yep, it's gonna get pretty close to not getting. So here we go. Push it up in there all the way down. There it is. And then draw it out. Oh boy. Ah, there we go. Okay. So when it was all the way up in there, I should have went ahead, but I was a little nervous on that because I don't want to tear my die up, remember? I should have put my primer in, the priming tool. And then we'd go ahead and prime it. So we put the primer in the priming tool, making sure the primer is down and the cup is facing up. The open side of the cup primer, and then boop, pushes the primer in. All right. So now anyway, you can see that now we are nice and round again. You can still see that little dent. Maybe it's picking it up. You still see that little dent that we talked about in the case neck, which is not good. This neck will split. I almost guarantee it if I were to load and fire it. So I've got the spent primer in there. If I were to load and fire this one, I can almost guarantee you that right there where that little dent was, this neck would split on firing. I'm kind of surprised it didn't go ahead and split resizing it. But anyway, this thing is resized and reprimed with a spent primer because again, that one's going to the scrap pile. Before this is all said and done with. But that's the resizing and priming operation on a single stage press like this. So just back to reloading in general. If you're just looking to get into it, I don't know if I've ever saved a penny reloading. But I have done a lot more shooting, and it's a lot more fun because you can play with your loads, and that's kind of adventure in itself. The books are a guide that'll get you there safely, and then you can mess around with it a little bit and tune it to your particular gun. There's a lot of pleasure in that. Components are like everything else in America right now, just through the roof. Components have gone up a lot since I started reloading. So again, I don't know if you'll ever save any money. That's kind of up to you, how much you shoot, what your load rates are, and all that stuff. But it is fun. There's no doubt about that. It is fun. And be careful with it. Inspect your brass, especially if you're using range brass. If it's brass you've bought, as a new factory cartridge, go ahead and the providence of it. You know how many times it's been shot, and you can be a little bit more safe that way. You can go to buy online and find brand new manufactured unprimed brass like this stuff here. I've got a 6.5 Jap rifle that I have that was my father's. From World War II. This is some brand new unfired stuff that I'll be loading sometime. Again, that's a gun that I don't shoot very often, but I do like to have cartridges for it. So, but again, it's all up to you. Life's an adventure. Do it your way, and definitely, respect your brass. So, all that being said, that was Fudd Fun Time for this week or month or ever. I don't know if I'm going to do any more of these. So, we'll see. I may continue on. Y'all have fun out there. Dadgummit. I'm hitting the wrong button. Fun time. Y'all have fun out there.